Well, good evening, my fellow Bavarians. It's good to have you back. I see some of you got it in already. That's very good, very encouraging. All right, so it's good to see you. We're continuing with the same thing. I'm using the same letters that the elitists are using to separate the nations and to keep the sheeple, everybody fighting against each other. I'm using these same letters to unite them in the Torah, to bring them back to the path of righteousness, okay, to be one with our maker, because that's what matters. So let the elites use their BLM and LGBTQ to separate the nations, but I'm going to use those to unite them with the mindset of the Father. So it's good to have you here, my fellow Bavarians. Let me see here. Let me put myself here in the picture. All right, let me see. Here we go. All right. So here we are. As you can see, I figured out how to use the green. I have a green background, so now I can put anything behind of me and that can be put as a background. So that's a good deal. That's why I'm all dressed up today, feeling professional. I finally figured out to use the green screen, so now that's what I'm doing, okay? All right, so we're starting again, and so like I said, we're gonna go review a few things, gonna go over a few things that we already had spoken before, so that you'll be familiar with what I'm talking about here. So, but it's good to see you. I see some of you are here already, so that's perfect. Andy, I see Brian, I see Angel Martinez, Bear Fruit. It's good to see you guys. All right, all right, all right. Sandy Crespin, Bear Fruit. Let's get burritos, tacos, and quesadillas. LGBTQ. That's a useful way. With that LGBTQ that gets burritos, tacos, and quesadillas, we can be united on that. You see that's an LGBTQ that unites the nations. You know what I'm talking about. All right, okay. Wait for two tacos. Hey, Rosa, it's good to see you. All right, come on in, people. Come on in. Don't be shy. I know some of you like to just be out there just watching from outside. Just jump in and say hello. Don't be shy. I'm not gonna bite. I'm just giving some good lessons, riches for your soul, and a little bit of money for your pockets. You can get some of the right answers. Okay, but that's what we are. So as you can see, I'm enjoying this little transparency thing. I can have any background in the back. I chose to put the alphabet. But that's what we're working on today. So, all right, let me change to another screen here. Let me see how it looks on here. Plain. All right. Here we have you guys. See, I figured out how to put you in here too. In my own screen, so I can see you also from here. So I have that option. Oh, okay, I forgot that I was able to do that. That's good. So I can see you. I can see what you say there. Let me see if I can make this large. So I even figure out how to put you in my screen here. Let me put myself out of there so you'll see what I'm talking about. See, that way I can be watching, and see what you guys are commenting in my own screen here, but you can see yourself. You can see yourself there too. So I figure out how to do that. A few things that I've been figuring out. So I've been getting good at this program now. I probably be my own TV production man now. All right, so that's what we're working on. So we got this screen also taken care of. That's the main plane, I guess. All right, so I got you there, guys. There, I'm just checking the different scenes here to see, what I did with all of these things. And then, okay, and I'm gonna put a commercial, and then we're gonna get going. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put my mask on to remind you the main thing that you need to focus on. This is my mask that I wear when I talk to you guys now. This is my mindset that I put on my soul so I avoid it from following stupidity of the world. All right, but this is I'll review with you right now. This as we were made for the word, that is the bar in us, to be upheld. I mean, kept up. You understand? Be upheld and kept in the Father, in the father mode, and not for the downfall of the casting out of the father mode. And there's a way that we need to keep the word inside of us. Okay, but basically, I'm using the way of the way God set it up already. I'm not creating anything new. He set up families. The first, to run society has a father and a mother, children, the households, a house, all these things that is set up in the Alef-Beyt, a house, a career, all those things, cultivating of the ground, Zion, all these letters that talks about the different things, all those are the symbols that represent, how we need to keep the expression of the character of God. Because the first economy, original economy that God gave us, the only one we need to take care is to understand his mindset so that we will present ourselves in this environment of his creation. See, we will present ourselves here to give, the care of revealing his mindset, revealing his character, you see. And so that was basically it. There was no industry that we needed to be involved in creating products, okay? All the products that we needed for the care of the body, the 300,000 edible plants, they were there. He had made them already. They were available. The plants that will sustain our longevity, that we could live long years, like Methuselah, 960 and what have you. We could live long time because everything was the right stuff for us. So all that stuff was there. Okay, so there was the only economy was the economy of revealing the character of the Maker. Okay, he was there to understand that. So I hope you guys can still see me. I don't see the screen here, but it says that you guys are still seeing. So it says that I'm still live video. So I don't see my little screen showing, but I hope it's showing okay. But in any case, so the first economy, like the economies nowadays, in the retarded garden we have the industry of revealing characters. What is that? The movie industry. Okay, and the people that do a good role playing those actors and actresses, they make good money. They are admired by the people. They look up as God, with great admiration. So they do the job of revealing characters. They play usually the part of dead characters that did something bad in the future, in the bad in the past, I'm sorry. Or they're going to be some badasses in the future, stuff like that. So they play fictitious characters or characters that did something bad or they got away with something or did something heroic in the past. But it's usually the portrayal of dead characters, okay? But we are called to portray the living character of the caretaker of the word itself. So the only thing that God keeps, I'm asking you, if God has made everything and he used the word to make everything, the moon, the stars, the oceans, the seas and everything that surrounds you, all he needs is just to keep the word. So he comes here to give us that word and to give us the order of words so that we will learn to enter into the fellowship, into the joy that he has in making and taking care of his creation. That is the fellowship that he invited us to. Since he made everything, he didn't invite us here for, to want to have something new, because everything was made for us to understand him, the way he feels about making things and about taking care of things. That's how a father brags about, being a father. That's how he feels like when he's a provider, a protector, a producer. That's what makes a father feel like, man, I've accomplished my job. I've done these things, okay? So that he wants us to get us into that mindset. So everything was there for us to enjoy that and for him to be flowing out of us. So it was a revealing the living character of God, right? So the reason why he gave us everything, so the only thing that God is concerned with is not to get anything. He doesn't walk into creation to get something that he was lacking. He made something so that everybody out there will enjoy it. But basically what he wants us to enjoy is his mindset. Everything is ours if we want to enjoy his mindset. Because everything that we collect in this world is to give it to the enrichment of our neighbor, our brother and sister and everybody else, okay? So that's the whole idea. So that's to keep in mind. We were made for the word, that the bar in us to be upheld in the Father mode. And the Father stands for fully activated, teaching humanity enduring riches. Okay? Because once we're fully activated, we got to teach humanity enduring riches. Okay? Or we have to be fully able to help everyone rapidly. That's what a Father does. He provides enduring riches. And the enduring riches we're talking about is the meanings and definitions. Because meanings and definitions, as when you give a word in a fullness, okay? I call it also the God mode, the guidance of directions mode. You have to present a word as a giver of directions, as a governing operations director. That's when a word is full of its meanings and definition. That's what a word is able to do. It's able to be a giver of directions. He's able to be a governing operations director. When you learn a word in its fullness of its meaning and definition, you have an economy. But if you only learn a word just to be a repeater, like a parrot, you only are an echo chamber. And that's the worst thing you can be for the word. Why just be why settle as an echo chamber? Echo chamber is everybody out there is a consumer that only knows the name of the product and how it looks in the physical environment. He is an echo chamber. But those that are hired by a company to take care of a company, they are running an economy. And in the word, you can run it as a giver of direction in the God mode, full of his meaning, or you can run it in the dog mode, D-O-G, deprived of guidance, deprived of, guidelines, and so when a person is deprived of guidance, or deprived of guidelines to run his life, he's going to act like a puppy. It's whoever will give him the best in this world. That's why you become a dog, D-O-G, that's the reverse of God. But you have the word as the giver of direction, as a governing operations director, then that word is like a God in this world, because he creates economies, brings out riches, hires people, so all kinds of things. So that's the whole purpose of learning the Torah, is to raise up your steam, to give you that great steam for the word of God. Okay, so understand that that's what we're here for. So we need to be fully activated, teaching humanity enduring riches. We need to be fully activated in what? In revealing the character. So like I said at the beginning, the original economy was for us, right, to have the mindset of the Father, because we were made to reveal the living character of the Maker. All right. Now, if you don't reveal the character of this creation, this 3D creation with the sun, the moon, and everything that's around us, you're going to end up working for a creator of the retarded garden, perform product and service in the retarded garden, and there you're going to have to honor that manual or that instruction manual and mission statement to be able to keep a job and make a living in this environment. Because the whole idea is for us to, first of all, to find a creator that made a product and service, and to live to represent his product and service. So if you're not representing your maker, you do not escape that. You get to do it for somebody else in this. You become subservient to that in the retarded garden. This is the garden of everything that has to be run by us. So remember that. All right, so that was a review of that. Let me go to the main. Something here. I want to talk to you right now about this part. Okay, because in the Bible, the Bible is the head above all. It's the Torah. It's the first teaching, the first book that was ever published by the Gutenberg publishing company. It was published because of the Bible. They wanted to publish the Bible, and so the order of the books tells a very interesting way in which. What I mean is the order in which the Bible is written spells the way for any company to be successful. They have to follow this certain order to run a company, especially the corporations. The corporations, which are the most successful because they hire the most people, the CEOs hire the most people, they follow this order. Okay, so I'm going to go down all the way to the book of Esther right now here in this, and tell you the meaning behind each one, and you'll understand the order. In order to run a company successfully, those are the things that are going to have to happen. These are the things that you're going to have to offer as a company, as the meaning behind each name. Genesis, that means you're going to have the initial product and service, right? The birth of a product and service. So you come up with an idea. You're an entrepreneur, you're a creator, you come up with an idea. All right. Then you have to think of sending out in the market and give it a name. To send it out in the market is the Exodus, to send it out. And also Shemot, which is in Hebrew. Shemot is the book of names. You have to find a brand name. Okay, you got to give it a brand name, something that is recognized. You know, like for my group, I call it the Covid-19 Men. That's my brand name for this group, right? Whatever product or service, I'm delivering the teachings of the Torah, and I'm using the Covid-19 Men, you know, because in this day and age, Covid-19 has become a very fearful name to divide people. So I'm taking it upon myself to use it to unite people with the word of the Creator. And that's what I'm teaching, you know. And so you create a brand name. So the Genesis, you have a product. Exodus, you have a name that you create and plan the marketing for it to send it out. And then after that, you have to have what I call the Leviticus. The Leviticus were the priests, okay? And those are the people that exercise the vocation, the calling, okay, to take care of whatever product and service has been created by somebody. They're going to exercise that. So that's why that book, Leviticus means joiners, you know, the ones that, the technicians that know the manual and know how to run everything correct for the product and service they're supposed to be representing. Okay, and also it's Vayikra in Hebrew. Vayikra means the calling, and God called Moses, Vayikra. And that means when you have a product, you have marketing, you have a brand name, you send the calling for the people that are going to do the job. You know, that's the classify ads. You create a vocation, like a career for people to be involved with you, to be able to promote your product and service, okay? So that's the whole. And those people are the ones working in the company. Those are the brokers of the product and service that you're providing to the multitudes. Okay, and after that is what I call the book of Numbers, all right? And Numbers, okay, is what happens when you have a product and service. You have to keep inventory, right? There has to be inventory kept. So that's why the numbers are there. So understand the order, okay? And these things were put in there for us to understand the order by which we run the economy of the revelation of the character of God. But this is also applicable for anything else that is below that. So in the retarded garden, they also follow this order. There's to tell you that whether they like it or not, whether they believe in the Torah or not, they follow it. Okay, because this is the right order of success proven throughout all time that it has worked. And so then it follows the book of Numbers, and also in Bamidbar is the word for Hebrew. That means in the wilderness. Okay, because when you go work to a place, that place you are there just to produce, not to get anything for yourself. You have words and you're there to work in the workplace. Like in the workplace, you don't feel like you're free to get anything for yourself. You only feel free to go get things for yourself when you're out at lunchtime, or you get out of the work, or you're on the weekends in the mall buying stuff. But while you're at work, you know you're producing for your fellow man. You're doing everything at work to please your creator, the creator of the product or service you're working for, and to take care of his consumer. And as long as you do that job, you're kept in that company. You're not fired. And so that's what you were supposed to do with your maker. You know, take care of his mindset and pass it on down to your neighbor, you know. But since you're not doing that, you're doing it in some place in the retarded garden. Whatever places that you work, that you're doing it there anyhow. So you don't escape that. In any case, so after that, then you inherit the Deuteronomy is twice the law. When a company makes a product and service, they send it out with a little manual that tells exactly what the product is and how to take care of it. That's the repetition of the law. But also means hadabarim, the words or the things. That's in Hebrew. In Hebrew, it means the words or the things. Because I told you, words and things are one and the same, okay? It's not like they're two different things. I mean, it's hard to say because I'm using the word thing. But it's one and the same. They're synonymous, one with the other. Everything that comes out of the dust, you know, like the cars that are made out of metal, everything, the buildings, all of that is nothing but dust in motion. They're only the shadow, okay? The shadow of the shadow or the image of the thing. The thing or the word, this reality. So that's hadabarim. That's what you inherit. And this is known, a known factor, by the fact that the people that are the owners, the creators of products and services, they do a patent, because they know that the patent is the real thing and is the real car. The patent is the real TV, the real thing and the real TV. So everything that the product has made, that's the real thing, is that they let you have the dust in motion. The cars that are made out of metal, that let you even think that they're yours. You pay the money and you call it yours. But you dare not take the patent, because that's the real thing, you see? That's the reality of the product. So the dabarim, the word that is guarded, because it gives the guidelines, that is the reality of everything. And that has to be looked. And from the very beginning, that's what we get. So once you have a company, you have a product, you have a brand name, you have the technicians, you have inventory, all the people that work there, what do they inherit? The words, the dabarim, the hadabarim. They inherit all the words, because that's the words that will allow them to project the dust in motion, all the products and services that's going to come out of them. Okay? But then what happens after that? Okay? Then after that comes Joshua, and Joshua means the work of completing, restoring, refreshing, renewing, because that's what is encapsulated in that name. And that's when you have a job. When you start working in a company, that's what you're doing. You're taking the words that tells you how the product and service is made, and you keep it refresh, renew, restore it. That's what you do. You keep it renewed. You keep it always fresh. And so that's the work of Joshua, the work of salvation, the work of completeness, the work of perfection, the work of making sure that the product doesn't lack anything. That's the meaning of Joshua. Completeness, perfection, not lacking anything, right? And when you have this going in a company, what you get there? You get what is called quality control. People. Those are the judges that come and watch and make sure the quality control people that are in the companies. All good companies have quality control. Those are judges that make sure that everything you do matches the schematics, and it matches the blueprints. And so you have judges, people watching that make sure every company that is a good company has that. In my company has that. Okay? And also, when your company expands and it gets big, what do you need? You need associates. You need friends, right? You need, when you're going to go Wall Street and stuff like that, and you get associates, shareholders and what have you. This is the book of Ruth. Ruth means friend. Okay? So you get friends, you get associates, okay? All right? And then you become, when you have associates, when you have something like a product where you already have like Wall Street and have shareholders, then your name is recognized, Then you have the name of God. And Samuel means the name of God. Okay, you get a reputation, So Samuel means called of God, or the name of God, or named by God. So you get a reputation, because once you get your associate, right? And then what happens? Your product becomes a king, okay? It begins to rule the market, all right? See what happens? See the order there of how it happens? Okay, you become a ruler. So after Samuel, which means the name of God, you get the reputation of a God. Okay, you have associates now. Then become a ruler in the market. Your product reigns. Everybody recognizes your name. Okay, and then all things that the company does is always, written down. It's chronicled down. When this happened, when you increase, when you got your shareholders, when you made so all these things, all this record keeping is done for the company. All the chronicling of what's going on. So then, one thing that you need to make sure, that the product continues to be successful is that it offers a help. The word Ezra means helper. Okay, Ezra is a help. So, in other words, you got to create a product that gives somebody a help, right? Let me ask, because I don't see my picture now. Let me ask you guys, can you guys still see me and hear me right now? Because I don't see my picture here anymore. Nehemiah is an excellent name, yes. Nehemiah, by the way, after Ezra, Nehemiah means comfort. The word Nehemiah means comfort, okay? So that's what, so the product that you present in the market, in order to stay king, it has to be able to help. It has to be able to not make you work harder, but help you. You create a cart for the car to take you around, not for you to push it around, because that's no help. Everything that you do has to be, and it also has to provide comfort, has to make life easy for you. So those are the things, elements, for a product. It has to be able to provide rest, that which means that to make life easier for you, which means comfort, and also give you help, make things more easier for you to do. So Ezra and Nehemiah are names that are the order of success for any product, okay, to be successful. So you understand that. But now let me get to the last one here for the book of Esther. Now this is a fascinating. Now in the book of Esther, it's interesting because in that book, if you read it, that's the only book in the Tanakh, in the Old Testament, that the name of God does not appear. Like Elohim or Yud-Heh-Vav doesn't appear in that book, okay? But it's all being done there in the representation of the character of Esther, how she was used as pivotal in delivering the people of Israel from total annihilation, because Mordecai and all these things were happening in there at that time. You got to read the story. But Esther is very interesting. So that's a hidden star. Esther means just a hidden star or a star, okay? Because once you have a product, like I said, that is a king, people are keeping record keeping of that. He offers help and he offers comfort. Then you become a star, okay? You shine in the market. You become finally the star that you needed to be. And as a star, if your company is a star, you're able to deliver a lot of people from being homeless because you can offer jobs, you can increase economies, you can save nations. That's why big corporations are welcome anywhere. They have an embassy status everywhere. They welcome any company. If you have a big company that's a star, they want you in there because you will make their nation rise because being a star. But the interesting thing of this, a lot of people haven't paid attention to, and I'm going to share a secret with you here, and that is the thing. What is there that will make you a star? Okay, Esther is a star. The other name of Esther, and since you have to read the book, is I believe it's Hadassah. Hadassah is the other name, the Hebrew name, Hadassah. And Hadassah, I believe, means myrtle tree. It's a tree. It's the myrtle tree. So a lot of people do not know Esther by her other name, was Hadassah, which is the myrtle tree. And so a myrtle tree is a star. Okay? So the whole purpose in the Bible is to get you to be a tree of life. Okay? Because she was a hidden star, and the star was, the hidden part of her being her star is that she was that tree. A tree in the Bible is the highest teacher. There's no greater teacher for the character of God than a tree. And so if you pay attention, the tree of life was there at the beginning, okay? Then the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was used, by the serpent to misguide us and to make us think that we would not have knowledge of good and evil outside of, with God, but it was going to be outside of him. And that was a big mistake. Because if God creates a tree of knowledge of good and evil, that doesn't mean he lost that knowledge. He still has it. He created that tree of the discernment of what is good and what is evil, what is useful, so that you will trust him that he knows how to use that and not you. That if he makes a company, he reserves the judgment to decide what is good and what is bad for that product, not you. And that's for every company. You go to a company, you have to let the boss tell you what is good and what is bad for that product. Because if you want to tell what is good or bad, you are in competition. You're in conflict of interest. You have to get out of there and do your own reverse engineering and create the product in a different environment. But that's the whole idea. Everybody that creates a product service knows how to run it. You got to trust them that they have the judgment of how to make it run. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so they created the idea that they can run things for themselves. A garden that they had not made, they thought, I can appropriate that knowledge and run it myself. That's very stupid. Because you do that in any company, your ass is kicked out of there. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, so in any event, Esther means tree. Okay, because the tree was at the beginning. The first Psalm 1 is about a tree. It doesn't light in the word of God. It's like a tree planted by the waters. Leaves faded not. So the whole thing is dedicated to us being like a tree of life. The first Psalm 1. Okay, but also when the first time that Moses was approached by God, in the wilderness, to start the whole thing of going to Egypt, where did he meet God? In a tree. It's also a tree, a burning bush. It's also a tree. Okay, and so there's this tree thing that goes on, and In Isaiah 58, it talks about God's chosen fast, that we will be, if we do the God's chosen fast, to be like in his character all the time, we will be like a water garden. We're not just a tree, that we're a whole garden, And you can see also in the story of Nebuchadnezzar, how he was this big tree that every beast of the field came and got something out from it, but at the end he was cut down, but the stump was left, right? So all this, the picture of the tree, refers to us and refers to all these things. So there's the oak trees, all the things that the trees of the field will clap their hand. All of that is in reference to people. But why is it that God wants to use a tree to teach us to be in the right mindset to understand him? Because you understand that the tree is connected to the ground, okay? It's planted on the ground, okay? And then from there, it comes out as a trunk, and then it extends like it has roots in the ground, right? To get everything from the ground. But then it comes out and it makes products like the fruits. And this fruit, what happens with this fruit when it falls off, if it's not picked up, it becomes like a fertilizer. And also the trees, when the trees dried, all dry leaves, all the leaves, the tree that are dried up leaves, they are also able to detoxify the water. So the dry leaves of the trees detoxify the water, they purify water. The fruit that is not picked up and eaten by beasts, they fertilize the ground. So the tree has a way of also doing good to the ground that is feeding it. That's a way to do good to the water that is also feeding it, and also does good to the air. Okay, it provides for all human beings the oxygen that the air molecule needs to keep to give to all flesh. So it's this amazing. It's all only giving. He gives to the earth, he gives to the waters, he gives to the air, he gives to the flesh, he gives of his bark, he gives of his fruit, he gives of his leaves. The leaves you can make tea. It's medicinal. The tree is a fantastic revelation of living in the here and now. You're so full of everything, you can benefit everyone that comes your way. And that's what God wants you to focus in, okay? And now, just in case you don't get the picture of how important it is to be a tree, okay? Tree is the best picture, because when we are, I explained to you, when we have a fullness or the fullness of a word, that word enables us to behave like heaven, because in heaven you have the elements of air, water, the clouds, and those are the elements that give life on a 24/7 basis. So when you have the knowledge of how to make a product, 24/7 how to fix it, repair, renew, and restore it. So you behave like the heavens. You are heaven on earth to that product, because you're able to do everything. You're able to refresh it, restore, and renew it. But it is the tree that God wants us to look at as samples. That's why he put mankind in a garden, to behold and look at the greatest teachers there are, to represent the mindset of the character of the Father, of the Alef-Beyt, to be in the constant state of giving. So the tree, okay, now let's come to the Ark of the Covenant. When we go into the Ark of the Covenant, we have 3 items there, okay? First was the 10 Commandments, the 2 tablets. What were they written in? In stone. So this represents the earth, right? You're going to be planted upon the word of God that is graven upon your heart. But this is written in stone. So this is the earth where the commandments are planted, where the commandments are written. And then the second item that was put in there was the branch of Aaron. Okay, that's a branch. So what happens when you plant? There's a branch that grows out of there. Okay, and then the last thing that was put in there was the food of heaven, the thing that comes out from the sky to feed us. Okay, so this tree produces food for heaven, like it gives air to the heaven, so that air, that oxygen that it gives, provides life to all humanity. So there it is. So it's the tree, the picture of the tree planted in the ground, providing, the fruit of heaven. You see? So the picture of the tree is there even in the Ark of the Covenant, okay? The 3 items, that's the testimony, okay? So everybody that teaches you the Torah should be able to bring you to that, because I'm trying to teach you to stay in the here and now, okay? And how to live in the here and now, enjoying all the things that you have, to enrich the life of your fellow man, and to make it easier for him, to just enrich the life, because, you are in your maker. So I understand why I'm thrilled day and night to just be studying the Word of God, because it connects me to everything. It makes sense of everything, okay? And everything is subject to it, you know. So I'm giving you up to Esther because, you know, there's more to the rest of the order of the scriptures. But right there, you understand that Esther is the star. That's what we're aiming at. We want to be the star of God, but then we have to be like trees, all right? What are we in the representation of the tree? Because the tree is the one that feeds the ground, feeds the water, feeds the sky, feeds the beast. It feeds everything. It's like spreading arms all over. All of you are gonna get blessed by my presence. I'm here, and all of you are gonna get blessed. I'm around here, and everything I got is for your enrichment. That's a tree, you see, and that's where you want to be. Okay. So that's the picture that God has given us, okay, to be in the best character possible, all right? All right, okay, so I'm glad to see a lot of you there are listening, okay, pay attention, very good, very good. So that's the whole idea. So I understand, I want to review the order again, okay, here. So I'm going to be asking some questions on this. So Genesis means the beginnings, right, of a product. So it's just the beginnings. Exodus means the sending out or the naming of a product. Okay, Leviticus are the technicians, okay, the joiners or the vocation, you know, the ones that do the work of, you know, listening to the manual and making care of the numbers is for inventory, you know, and Deuteronomy is for the words. That's why you inherit in a company, or your inheritance in a company is the words that make you an economy. You go for a company, they don't give you the words as a consumer. When you go to work for a company, the words are given to you to be a producer, never a consumer. That's why it's good to inherit the words that are full of meaning and definition, because that's the words that make you a producer. And that's the best you can do to represent the character and the ability of who God is, you know, by having the words full of that. Okay? And so Joshua means to complete, to be a completer, to save everything from decaying and dying, to be a completer, perfect, to restore, refresh, renew, make sure nothing lacks, make sure that everything stays healthy. All of that is encapsulated in Joshua. When we come to the book of Judges, the Judges is that the people, you know, the quality control people that watch to make sure that you follow all the instructions. They're like the compliance officers. You know, companies have different titles for them. Compliance officers or quality control managers. You know, they do the same thing. They do the work of judging. And then you have Ruth. Ruth means friend or an associate. Shareholders, you know, company that allow, you know, they're attached to you because that's what she did. She attached herself to her mother-in-law. Okay? And she stayed with her through the thick and thin. You know, she was there with her. So Ruth, the best friend to have, an associate like that. So once you have all these associates, you get the reputations. Samuel means name of God, or called of God. But the name, you get the reputation, you know, of a giver of directions when you have associates, you know. And then you become a ruler. You become a king. You get to be known. You know, you have status as a king, as a ruler in the market. Then people do the record track record keeping, the chronicles, keeping track of all, you know, your successes, your gains. You know, like the Forbes magazine have the 500 Fortune, all this magazine that keep track of how much people revenues and income and all of that stuff. And then you make sure that your product is Ezra is a helpful product, provides help, and Nehemiah provides comfort. So, and therefore you become a star. And you're a star because what? You are a tree that will do things for everybody. So that's what Esther did. In the end, she ended up saving all the people of Israel. Was at a point to be of extinction, you know. They were about to be wiped out, you know, but she saved the whole nation of Israel, you know, but she was like a tree there for it. And because if you are in the Word of God, you are everything. You are the heaven, you are the earth, you are the sea, everything that supplies everything. But it's best to be like a tree that can give nourishment to the earth, can give nourishment to the water, can give nourishment to the air, can give nourishment to the flesh, the insects, everything feeds off a tree. So the tree is so complete that everything it has, you know, from the bark, there's benefits in all it has. It's full of benefits. Okay, so that's the whole idea. All right. So we're doing pretty good now. Let me see if I'm gonna start asking some questions therefore here. And okay, let me see here. Let me start writing them down here and get to the screen on this side to make sure I'm watching you guys here. Ta-da, ta-da. All right. Okay, so here, ready for the first question? Here we go. $50. All right. Okay, $50. Let me see the question. Which one is the book that means brand name or sending out in the market? The book of the Bible that means the brand name or the sending out into the market. Which one of those books in here? Let's see who said. That means the brand name or the naming of it or sending them out into the market. Let's see. Okay. Barefoot. Okay, barefoot. I got barefoot. Exodus. Complete. That's correct. Exodus. Exodus. Very good. All right. So, barefoot gets $50. We got Exodus correct. Very good. All right. All right. We're doing pretty good. All right. Now. All right. Brian Wantag was next on that one, but yeah, he got it first. Leviticus. Good try. Good try. But that wasn't it. Okay. Now let me, not the second one. Okay. The second one. What's the meaning of the word Esther? What does it mean? Esther. $50. Not you, Barefoot. You already did it. So anybody else? Esther stands for what? Esther. What does Esther stand for? Star. Brianna Duran. Brianna, you got $50. Oh. Oh. Wow. Okay, Brianna Duran got $50 for Star. It's Esther, yeah. Those stars, the Tree of Life. Yeah, Tree of Life makes you a star. That was a Rosa coming on second after that. I mean, Rosa, but Brianna got that one. All right. So, yeah. So the whole idea, all right. Now, yes, Esther is the name in there. But let me see. I'm going to try another one here. All right. And now, the third one, let me see. This one, I don't know if you can get it because I didn't say it that many times. Well, okay. But the other name of Esther, the Hebrew name of Esther is Hadassah, okay? And what does Hadassah means, okay? Hadassah is a tree, but what kind of a tree, okay? If anybody, because I didn't say that much. It's a tree. I say what that it means a tree, but what kind of a tree is it? Is anybody? So that would be kind of hard because I'm aware that I did not mention it that many times. Myrtle tree! Hey! Brian, you remember. Okay, Brian got it. Myrtle tree, yes. Hadassah means myrtle tree. Perfect, okay. It's very good, very good. Myrtle tree. Very good, very good. All right. You guys did it. You guys did a great job, by the way. I appreciate that, okay? So this is good, you know. We're doing good, you know. We're doing pretty good here. All right. So that's what I'm talking about, okay? So we need to be in that mindset because we are living in the here and now. So in the here and now, there's a lot of things that we can do to bring off what we have in us to take care of our neighbor, okay? One of the reasons I do the things that I'm doing right now, you know, for example, I decided to start this ministry and, you know, and I decided to start this ministry by giving money away as people answer questions because that's the way I did it with my son, Gabriel, you know. Gabriel, I would give him his allowance based upon, you know, how well he did in school. He did everything good. Got A's. No B's, just A's. He had his, you know, payment for that. The allowance was not given just for, you know, just for being there. He had to prove that. And also because I was separated from from the mother. I told him not to give his mom any hard time. You know, I was paying my child support and everything, and still after he was 18, I kept paying, and I'm still paying my son. He's gonna graduate from the last year of college this time, and until he start, and he's been working, but I'm still paying him, you know, about $100 a week for doing good in his school, because that's a deal that I made. I don't mind doing those things, you see. And so, and also, I will teach him stuff from the Torah, and he will learn, and he will get paid for that. So I know that's a very stimulating way of learning, and you make it kind of interesting. So I knew that worked for my son. You know, he's pretty good at a lot of things. And so I figured if I could do this, but also because I did not want to do this ministry like the rest of most people that do ministry, just to get money out of it. I wanted to make money on my own doing something else, and be able to bring that money and the extra money and give it away. You know, having fun doing this, and that's just to show. To me, that shows more of how complete I am in my Maker. You know, more of that than if I'm asking for money. And besides, I always feel like if somebody is paying you to do something, you're kind of obligated to please them, you know, and to say nice things and to go along. That's just the nature. You know, like you got to please your boss. He's paying you. You know? I mean, you got to do, you know, he's giving you. I'm very pleasing to my bosses. I do everything they tell me, you know, because I like my job anyhow. But yeah, that's how it has to be. You know, people are paying you. You gotta be nice to the people that are paying you. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. You know, it's a rule. So, but when you have to preach the Torah, there's some things that you have to say that are not pleasing, but you have to say them because that's the truth. Okay, no, I know, Brianna, you will still listen without money. I know. I don't mean that you guys want the money. I'm just saying the reason why I myself decided to do it that way is to show, you know, because it's fun to do anyhow like that. What I'm saying is to show a lot of ministers that they can also do that. Okay, because I want to show the minister. I want to create a new ministers for the future. That if they're going to do a ministry, do it this way. You know, make sure that the people that you preach in the word, you do it out of the joy of your heart, because it's the one thing that you love the most, like I do. You know, and that's the riches of my soul. I'm giving you the riches of my soul, which is the Torah of the Torah. That's the enrichment of my soul. And I want everybody else, you know, all the ministers especially, to catch on with this. I wanted to create a whole new generation of ministers that are not there just begging for money, you know. And I was worrying about it. We're going to meet our budget or what, you know. You go work out there, make money someplace else, doing whatever else, and then start a ministry because you love to give the word. So don't take it the wrong way, you guys. I appreciate each one of you here. I love each one of you that come here to listen and learn. You know, that's just my thing, that I love to do this, you know. And I'd rather give money for people learning the word, you know, than all these game shows that give you money just to know the product. You're only a consumer, an echo chamber. I want you to be an economy here. I want you to learn the joy of being in the fullness of words, you know, of understanding, lining up with words and knowing everything like that, because then you will always be ready to be useful in any situation. You'll be able to pick up a job and do it like this, you know, like if I like something, like for example, you can see I'm learning to use this program. I can use the green screen now, so I can put anything in the background, you know, everything I've been learning, because it's easy for me to learn things. So even though I'm 61, I'm still like a little child learning new things every day, you know. So I'm never tired of learning, all right? So it's good to have you guys here, you know. It's just fantastic, all right? And let me tell you something. I'm gonna give one more $50 prize if you're still around. One more $50 prize. Let me ask another question right now, okay? Let me see here. Okay. For $50, anybody can play now. Anybody, those that won, if you want some money, everybody can play now. $50 for this question, okay? Okay. What does the word Deuteronomy means? Deuteronomy. What does it stand for? Deuteronomy. $50 for anybody. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. What does it stand for? Deuteronomy. Free speaking. That's close enough. Well, let me see, somebody comes more closer. That words to reply, to duplicate, okay, manual, double word, okay, words. Bear fruit. All right. Words. Yeah. Words. It means words. Okay. It means words in the Hebrew because it's the plural of, but it's the words. In other words, hadabarim. That's in Hebrew means words, which is plural for the bar. But also, I'm gonna give $50 to Jimmy because he said re-speaking, which is like saying the law twice for Deuteronomy. In the Greek, is re-speaking. It's like saying it 2 times again, or double word. So I give $50 to Jimmy for saying it correct in what the Greek stands for, and $50 to Barefoot. So Barefoot got well, $100 on this time, huh? And Jimmy got a 50 on this one. All right, so all right, congratulations, all of you guys. So Barefoot got 100. Brianna got 50. Brian, all right, Brian got 50, and Jimmy got 50. All right, so not bad. We did pretty good. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna close here with a commercial. Let me see if I can put a little one in here. Okay, we got to 9 o'clock. Not so bad today. Not so bad. I love each one of you, and may Hashem bless and strengthen each one of you. May you learn to. May you be the tree of life here in His garden. Okay, because this is His garden of revelation, you guys. We're gonna be in His character here, guys. I'm gonna bring the teachings orderly rendering altruistic humans to you. Okay, and we're gonna be looking at this, the builder's laws is what matters, and I'll be giving you let God be true quota every time. That's why I call it like this, because this is the builder's laws matters, and I'm teaching you the laws of the builders, and I'm also telling you let God be true quota. This is your quota for that for this week. That's why I'm using that. So this is my teaching for today. All right, let me put a little thing here. Let me see here. All right, let me see. So I need to have story. Okay, monarch. Okay, I'm looking for a commercial to close with. 1 second. There we go.